Hence, the Big Balls Dance was born.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a good day. I wanted to check in with Woo Hoops here. This one popped up on my feed the other, just a day or two ago. And this is called the most infamous celebration in NBA history. And I already forgot what the thumbnail is because I can't see it right now. I got the video in front of me. But I think we're talking about Sam Cassell here. And if you guys know, you know. And if you don't know, this is going to be a lot of fun for you to learn about this one. So anyways, those of you who know what that celebration is, welcome. Those who don't, this is going to be great. As I always do, I'm going to link the original video from Woo Hoops down in the description for you. As well, in that description, you'll see a list of channel members, which thank you, new member again, Joseph4043. I appreciate you. And thank you to the rest of you guys and anybody who's just here hanging out, watching, commenting, being part of the conversation. I appreciate you all. This has been a blast. So we did more of a serious video this morning. I think this one's going to be fun and informative. So without further ado, let's get into this. Like the vid if you haven't done it, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, here we go.
The date is May 5th, 2025, and Tyrese Haliburton is about to do one of the most infamous celebrations ever.
Is he going to do
But
it?
before we get to that, let's go back 30 seconds. With under a minute left, the Pacers were down 7. Pascal Siakam would get fouled and go to the line for 2 free throws.
Siakam contact point nearly got it to drop.
Siakam, one of the veterans of the team, is born on April 2nd, 1994. 3 days before his birth, a sports movie by the name of Major League 2 will be released. A fictional
Dude, I love these movies, Major League 1 and 2. Wow, thing, you make my butt sting.
Story about the Cleveland Indians' pursuit for a shot at the World Series. In one of the more memorable parts of the film, Indian star Pedro Serrano will be confronted by his teammate in the locker room.
You know, you have no
marbles.
Later in the film,
me and my brother used to quote that scene all the time. Oh, until eventually Serrano want to bat.
Serrano will prove otherwise.
Cannatello delivers.
Yeah, he's got balls.
And it's a long drive to deep left field. Way back. Packer to the wall. This ball is...
Dude, I love this movie. Yeah, there it is. Holy shit, did he do that before Sam Cassell? Oh man, how did I not correlate all this? Yeah.
Hence, the Big Balls Dance was born.
Oh no.
Now back to our own Cleveland game. Pascal Siakam.
Okay, guys. For those of you, who are old enough, was this the first time you ever saw the Big Balls Dance? Because I thought it was Sam Cassell, but this predates it, right? It does. It's 94. It predates it.
Siakam will end up missing both free throws, but luckily, Aaron Nesmith will clean up the mess.
Clincher against Milwaukee.
Oh,
Look
nice
at that
putback.
Then draws a charge to give the Pacers the ball back. Siakam then would make up for his past mistake, cutting the lead to just 3.
Siakam attacks and lays it in.
The following possession, Andrew Nembhard would steal the ball.
Oh my goodness. There's a steal. Nembhard.
And everybody in the building knows where the ball is going to. In 2000, a future star would be born in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. His name, Tyrese Haliburton. Also in Wisconsin at the same time was another star guard, Sam Cassell, who was just dealt to the Bucks in a 3-team trade the previous season.
I am the leader of this team. I determine, not all the wins and losses, but majority of them.
While on the road one night,
Damn, talk about accountability right off the bat. I mean, he's a 2-time. Did he win both? I think he won both championships with Houston.
Cassell would decide to channel surf in the hotel. The movie that he stumbled upon, none other than the 1994 film Major League 2.
Damn.
Cassell was especially enamored with one part of the movie. This scene.
I love it. I'm stealing that.
He did it.
I'm stealing that. It was the old movie. So I started making big shots as a young player. I said, I got something for him.
Now, there's no footage of the early years of the big balls dance that I could find, but in the 2004 NBA playoffs against the Kings, Cassell would put the big balls dance on the world stage, doing it in Game 2 after this big shot.
Cassell.
And you can see why he wanted to break it out. The Wolves were the #1 seed. Kevin Garnett was the MVP. Cassell would also make his first All-Star game that season. They were on top of the world.
Yeah, I love that.
This would become the most infamous celebration of all time. As the Wolves coach Flip Saunders would later recall, we lost the championship by that. When Cassell did that, he had an avulsion fracture in his hip. So from that perspective, I've always been against that type of...
What? That led to an injury? Man, why we gotta go to a dark, sad turn? No!
thing. Cassell himself, however, would fight back against that notion, saying in an interview with Jovan Buha, I wish it was. I had surgery. I didn't know somebody had to have some major surgery dancing. Saunders' son, Ryan, would double down on his dad's claim, saying, quote, my dad said he would have maybe an NBA championship if Sam didn't do that dance.
Wow.
Now, I've saved you guys the trouble by doing some of the research myself. Nothing conclusive. But while the series was ongoing, there only existed a back injury for Cassell. However, after Game 2...
No, I do remember it was something, because he was he had to stay hot, like keep his body hot, on a training, like an exercise bike. Man, I'm getting old. I'm trying to remember all this, but yeah, he was injured during his time. But I thought it was like a groin injury.
Cassell would have his worst stretch of the series,
like a hammy or something like that. I think it was a hamstring.
So much so that in Game 7, the commentators would say this pre-game.
And look at Sam Cassell, 3 of 16 the last 5 games from the three-point line. He's struggling getting lift on his shot, and I guarantee you Sacramento is going to test him defensively here early to see how well he's moving.
In the following series, the back and the hip were listed as injuries in the reports. The Wolves would lose the series in 6, and Cassell will be absent the final 2 games. Now, despite maybe...
I mean, to just automatically blame that on that one little dance, I don't know. I'll reserve my opinion until we get more info.
Injuring himself with this celebration, Cassell would make it his trademark, doing it with every team he was with.
Sam Cassell loves these moments.
Sam Cassell!
And from 2000 to 2009, this dance was exclusive to Cassell and sometimes his teammates, including this game on March 17th, 2008 against the Spurs.
Got it! A 3-point field goal for Sam
I believe this to be the final time Cassell has ever broken out the dance. When researching this era, there were pretty much no discourse about the celebration. No articles, no think pieces, nothing.
Yeah.
But everything was about to change on January 14th, 2009. But before we get to that, a quick word from today's sponsor. Okay guys, let me tell you about a website that I've been using called Kalshi. I've been using it to keep track of the NBA playoff odds and also other global events. You can trade on just about anything. Now let's look at how it works. Let's look at the OKC versus Minnesota series. A contract for OKC beating Minnesota is worth 84 cents, meaning for every 84 cents, you would win back 16 cents. If you place a contract for no, it's worth 17 cents. For every 17 cents, you would win back 83 cents. For me, I'm always pulling for the underdog, but as you can see in this case, the odds are very unlikely for the Wolves. Regardless of your interest, Kalshi is a great way to sense where the public is leaning. Kalshi is the only place to trade on these events legally in all 50 states, and is the largest prediction market in the US. If you want to try it out, Kalshi is giving away $10.
Did I just see? You could bet on Rotten Tomato scores? That's crazy.
To anyone signing up using my link and trades
No. Oh, I thought I saw temperature.
Kalshi is giving away $10 to...
I did. Highest temperature today. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. What the hell? We're betting on temperatures.
Anyone signing up using my link and trades $100. So if you're interested, check the link in my description before the NBA playoffs are over.
Wow.
Thank you, Kalshi. On January
that's
14th,
something.
2009, the Lakers would find themselves in San Antonio on the second night of a back-to-back. The previous night, they were in a dogfight against
Wait,
the
does that signal us to like be aware we might have a gambling epidemic going on if we're betting on the temperature of tomorrow? Just saying, man.
Rockets. Down one, this dagger from Kobe Bryant would ultimately seal the deal.
Unchained, too. Good defender.
The best finisher in the game has just done it again.
Now, 24 hours later, Kobe finds himself in the exact same position as the night prior and managed to do this.
4-second difference. Bryant a three.
Man, what a ballsy shot.
Kobe a three.
Now, did you catch that? I remember watching this game as a kid and thinking Kobe did a really cool wobbly dance.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the camera cut to this angle that everyone knew
I remember
what he
it.
just did.
Yep.
The Kobe Bryant just did the big balls dance.
Yeah, he did the same.
Even though the Lakers lost the game, the celebration is what lives on. Now, remember how I mentioned earlier that from 2000 to 2009, outside of Cassell and maybe some of his teammates, there was no one else doing the dance?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like most things in life, once Kobe Bryant does it, it becomes a phenomenon.
No kidding.
Right away, a couple weeks after Kobe's celebration, on February 3rd, Andre Iguodala would attempt his own big balls dance.
Oh,
They
no.
call him, he's ready to go. There's Andre Iguodala. They need that from him.
The phenomenon has begun. But after the
I don't know why this is so funny to me. Like, can you imagine being him? Yeah. Can you imagine being David Stern and then realizing, oh man, I got to do something about this big ball dance? Like, this is going too far.
the 2010 season, with Commissioner David Stern likely fearing the rapid influence of the dance, Stern would put the hammer down.
David Stern, called me into his office and he said, we got to stop that. We can't have our kids, doing that shit, Sam. Now all you do it, 25,000.
The first
25?
victim, Eddie House, who would be fined $25K for hitting his only bucket of the game.
Eddie
House takes the
House.
three and takes
Hey
the
man,
lead.
House can hit those
Eddie
threes.
House hasn't even had any opportunities here today. That was his first shot.
But for the players, that didn't matter. If anything,
Dude, the irony of this image right here, him hitting the big shot, running by LeBron James doing the big balls thing is actually hilarious to me. After everything that's happened now, him calling him a bitch and everything. Yep. And then LeBron blaming players like Eddie House for the fact that they didn't win in 2011. This is great. I didn't know he did this.
That was his first shot.
but for the players, that didn't matter. If anything, it gave it more power.
Yeah, 25K
In fact,
is nothing
the
for
dance
them.
would reach its peak in popularity from 2013 to 2014.
You
with
better make it 100K or else they're not going to care. 25,000? Screw that. They'll make more money in just exposure, if anything, popularity.
5 players doing it over the course of 1 year. Marco Bellinelli will become the first non-American to do the dance.
Bellinelli open for three. Yes. Marco Bellinelli.
And Andre Blatch will be the first to be fined doing it from the bench.
Wait.
Kevin
I didn't catch that one. Hold up.
Will be the first to be fined
Joe
doing
Johnson
it
hit the
from
big shot. Yeah.
the bench.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Kevin Martin will be the final of this cohort during his celebration on November 3rd, 2014. Post-game, his coach Flip
Flip.
Saunders will make that infamous comment that I showed you earlier in the video about how the big balls dance may have caused him a championship. While the fines may not have slowed down the players from doing the dance, this comment certainly did. Within the next 5 seasons, the big balls dance would only be done once. The one exception? Well, in 2016, the Big Balls dance will make a one-off rare appearance. The dancer, Julius Randle. Now, this happened during Kobe's retirement tour, and Kobe at this point in his career was notoriously known to be stoic towards big moments. But for this particular moment, if you look closely, Kobe couldn't help but break out a smile. And it also makes me break out a smile, knowing that in Kobe's farewell season, he was able to witness the dance on the court one final time.
I mean, not only that, he probably had a flashback to when he did it the first time. You know, he's like, yep, that was me. That used to be me.
3 seasons later, Klay Thompson would be the next to break out the big balls dance, as Thompson would do it in the second quarter of a finals game against Toronto.
Mama call him Clay. I'ma call him Clay.
2 seasons later, Fred VanVleet would take the torch from Thompson and do his own big balls dance for the Raptors.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Those are real big balls then.
Okay, isn't it kind of crazy that Cassell was a part of the 2008 Celtics team that famously did this dance, and they faced the Lakers in the finals. The following season, Kobe incorporates it. Now in 2019, Klay does it in the finals, and a couple seasons later, VanVleet incorporates it. Kind of beautiful. While these gentlemen are battling it out in the NBA, the protagonist of our story, Tyrese Haliburton, is also growing up, making a name for himself in high school as a 3-star recruit, then playing his way up to being an NBA draft prospect at Iowa State. Throughout his adolescence, there was one player that Haliburton looked up to.
Like any kid born in 2000, LeBron was my favorite player growing up. You know what I mean? And it's hard for him not to be for a lot of us.
Yeah.
So growing up, I was a Cavs fan, then a Heat fan, then a Cavs fan again, then a Lakers fan before I got drafted. You know, it's just how it went.
In 2021, Haliburton's idol would find himself in a road game in Haliburton's future home. Playing without Anthony Davis, LeBron James knew he had to put the team on his back, hitting dagger after dagger. Then, James, like previous greats, would find himself tempted to do the infamous dance.
I was going to say, he's the last one I remember doing it. But I also hear he's never been fined, right? So did he get away with this?
Launches a 3. Got it! The king! The king from distance!
The 3, long distance. The shot clock was becoming an issue.
Later that season, Haliburton
He kind of did it wrong. He grabbed his crotch. It's probably worse.
Traded to the Pacers, a trade that absolutely devastated Tyrese. Over the years, just like he did in college, Haliburton would build himself up, going from a 12th overall pick to a perennial NBA All-Star. Yet, before the 2025 playoffs, NBA players seemed to be non-believers, voting Haliburton as the most overrated player in the league.
Damn.
Now Tyrese Haliburton, battling the team he once cheered for, with the entire weight of the world on his shoulders, will get the rebound off his own free throw miss. What happens next? Well, you already know.
Haliburton steps back and hits.
And what better way to cap it off than with the most iconic celebration ever, on the soils of where the big balls dance originated. A celebration in the NBA is often more remembered than the results of a game. But in this case, I'd say it's pretty equal. The pride, the joy, the pain, the literal pain, are all what makes this dance iconic. Cassell taking inspiration from a movie, then having that take a life of its own, proves that this has now transcended sports. This is art. From one generation to the next. From one team to the next. May the dance continue to live and evolve.
Oh my God. This is art. I loved it. That was great. What a video, man.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. And YouTube thinks you'll like this video, so maybe watch.
Damn, man. Okay. First of all, before I forget, guys, can you correct me if I'm wrong? Did LeBron get away with that without a fine? If we can get to the bottom of that in the comments, that'll be great. Because Wu did say everyone has to pay the $25K fine, right? So that should be, if they find Kobe, they gotta find everybody else, right? Anyways, that video was hilarious. I had no idea. See, every time I think I know something, I end up learning so much more about the topic whenever I delve into something like this. So I thought that was all Sam Cassell. I thought he's the one who made it up. But the funny thing is, I saw Major League and Major League 2, the movies, probably 100 times each when I was a kid. Like, I don't know why, but it's like right up there with like White Men Can't Jump. Like, I watch these movies religiously, so I am kind of surprised that I didn't associate the two together, that's the origin of the dance, especially considering Serrano is probably my favorite character in those movies. But yeah, so here we are now we know the origin of it, and now it's taken a form of art, as Wu says, which I thought was so funny. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you thought about it. Did you learn something like I did, or did you know this all along? Because I never heard that that podcast or whatever that Sam Cassell was on. I wouldn't mind. I like Sam Cassell a lot. So I never heard him talk about the origins of the big ball dance. But anyways, you guys, I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed that video, I highly suggest you check out Wu's channel. He doesn't do like daily drops or anything like that, but he does like probably weekly drops, and they're really good quality. So it's a great channel to be subscribed to. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm out of here for tonight. Like the vid, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that bell if you want to get notified. And yeah, I appreciate you all. I will see you in the comments, and then I'll see you in the morning, all right? Peace out. Be good to your people. Be good to yourself. Have some fun. Be safe. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. Be open-minded out in this crazy world. And most importantly, be water, my friends.